It says Commanders. The first reward vehicle that you'll be able to obtain in the Echoes of War Battle Path campaign will be none other than one of the symbols of the Soviet military, the legendary ZSU-23-4 Shilka. Let's put it like this, the Shilka. This is the vehicle which looks interesting, very similar to Sergeant York, T249, and many others, you know, the tier 10 M48 and whatever. But let's have a bit of look on the tank design, because I'm not gonna sit now and read all of this, but let's have a look about the tank itself and how it looks. So based on the chassis, it looks like it's gonna be not so high, but almost on the same size as Sheridan, I presume, because of the tracks and the way it looks. Very similar to the chassis of light tank, if you put it like this, or of one of those tier 3-4 AVs. As for the guns, it has 4 guns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's really interesting. You have the smoke grenades in the front, which looks very nice. I presume it's gonna be very maneuverable. Probably not the fastest, but around 50 to 65 kilometers an hour is gonna be. And I presume that's gonna have a radar or something like this. And this is gonna be a premium at tier 4 for the upcoming, you know, Soviet battle path, whatever. So the Shilka, named after a Siberian river, came to be in the early 1960s as an attempt to provide Soviet mechanized forces with a short-range, highly mobile anti-air platform that will also feature some basic protection. So basically this is gonna be, as I said, as some of those early, you know, tanks implemented in the game in the battle paths also. Let's go a bit downstairs. So it will be its low weight, mere than 19 tons, light armor and high firepower of its quad water-cooled 23mm gun. So this tank is gonna have an issue. You have 4 machine guns. The ammo probably is gonna be around 1200 or 1800 rounds in the clip. Not of a big penetration, probably around 120, 160, 150 AP, and probably HEF or HEP ammo, the second type of ammo. But it's gonna warm up, so this gonna heat up, is gonna have probably a time. But I'm very sure that the moment you start shooting with this thing, you're gonna end up without any ammo, if the ammo is lower than let's say 1000 rounds. Let's go a bit downstairs now. Speaks about the war, and here is the main thing, another image about the tank from the rear. So as you may see, this is something like a radar. I understand that's gonna pop up on top of the vehicle and move, something like a circular movement, because this area, as you may see, there are some pistons attached, something like this, some telescopic shit going on, you know. So I presume that's gonna be on top of the vehicle the moment you're gonna activate. But being at tier 4, it might come with a price, probably the camo price or the reloading price. Like, you know, you have pros and cons. So in armored warfare, the Shilka will be a tier 4 premium armored fighting vehicles. Once again, just by taking one look at it, it is not difficult to determine this AV main feature. It is not long range accuracy or heavy armor, but it's sheer uncompromising volume of fire. So it's gonna have a really good round, you know. You're gonna have 4 machine guns, you imagine that. Something much better than one of the MXs in the Francine de la Roche Tech 3, but This being the tier 4, that one is a tier 5. But it says that it is not long range accuracy. So at long range, this tank is gonna miss a lot. You're gonna end up fighting close range. You cannot do that. But before we get into any details, the usual disclaimer. The numbers below are very preliminary, as the vehicle has not been properly tested. They are sure to change and should only be discussed as an indicator of how we'd like to set the vehicle up. With that being said, in order to imagine how the Shilka will perform in the game, you can start with the XM24-7, which is Sergeant York, that sits one tier higher. The difference between Sergeant York and this one is that Sergeant York has 2 guns, a lot of ammo, and also quite a good chassis. Like you can take some pounding with that tank and give something back. However, with this one being very lightly armored, it ain't gonna be the same. Obviously, yeah, you can take, let's say, a shot. Tier 4, 5, 6, lieutenant or sergeant or superior, probably, let's put it 600 damage, and you're gonna do from a very big clip, probably in 8 seconds or 10 seconds up to its reloading time of that. Maybe 200 perhaps, because the gun is not gonna have such a good penetration. So engine producing just 280 horsepower. However, it says like this, as I said, AP 100 millimeters of penetration, 18 damage. APDS 150 millimeters penetration, 15 damage, which I said also. And Pele, which it's in between. You can have these, but Pele works only on against lightly armored tanks and on some MBT's rear. If you manage to, let's say, get the rear exposed heavily, you can do a lot of damage faster than even APDS. But I think that the APDS is the better, and as I said, probably between 120, 160, 180 penetration, which is the maximum. But 150, it's a good penetration, but with a short amount of damage, 15 damage. It isn't 18, it isn't 20, so coming that from 4 machine guns is gonna be like, what's that, 30, 60 damage per shot, combined within all the guns at one shot or one click. Yeah. Additionally, all these rounds will also deal reduced damage upon non-penetration automatically, much like those of the M48 GAU. As I said, this tank is similar to M48, and this is the M48 GAU, the tier 10 AV, with same principles as the Sergeant York, but a better gun, and it hits up very fast, and you have basically two styles of fighting or shooting, whatever, firing. This will not allow the vehicle to destroy MBTs from frontal angles, but anything lighter is pretty much fair game, so don't try to shoot an enemy frontally with this tier 4. You ain't gonna do much. Probably you're gonna get some tricky, sneaky shots, but don't expect to do a lot of damage with this thing. The view range is 440 meters, so obviously the ability, when you're gonna press E, something like a Sergeant York's radar is gonna pop on top of it. Will be possible to improve even further by activating the radar ability, as I said, guys. So I haven't read this article before. This is basically what I'm reading with you right now, which will trade some of your already low camouflage for extra spotting abilities. So price for a price, I give you view range, you give me camo. You use the you don't use the radar, you're gonna get the camo. So try to put retrofits on this tank. In summation, the Shilka will be the undisputed king of damage output on low tiers, balancing its firepower but its low survivability. So probably it's gonna have 1500 health, 1200 health probably, or 1600, who knows. So as you guys may see, and so it's gonna be a tier 4 for the upcoming battle pass. I just hope, if the community and all of some of these are looking at, guys, you know, it's been how many times, how many battle pass have been, don't you want to change the tanks that we get? Like, I really want to get a tier 10 light tank premium, a good light tank, or a good tank destroyer, or probably, I don't know, some SPG, or I don't know, a very good AV at tier 10 as a premium. We have a lot of MPTs, and these MBTs are also super heavy, medium and heavy tanks. Those are called main battle tanks, but some of them are super heavy, you know. And indeed, they've been in real life, they existed, they are true tanks, but can we have a bit of a change of the rewards? Like this one, it's also is awesome. It makes the players to be much more aggressive, to make the game very active, very fun to play, enjoyable, to play like a maniac, like an idiot, like a new, whatever you want to say, you know. As long as you enjoy the game and the tanks that you play with, it's very important for us players and for you, you know. And it's also important for the game developers and so on. But I really want to see like a tier 10 TD, a tier 8 AV premium with 4 machine guns, you know, 4 barrels, 6 barrels, doesn't matter, you know, something interesting, something new. Because we like the past 2 battle pass been identical, you know. I think it's gonna be a very fun tank to play with. In the beginning, many of you, I have experience with AVs, and since I play with a lot of tanks, I understand the tanks and I know how to play with them. Even though if I have some issues or I die, or it's because of my mistakes, I don't pay attention so much, and that's why. But in the end, I enjoy the game and I enjoy the tank itself, and for me that's important, you know. So I'm gonna enjoy this tank playing. I'm gonna get the battle path when it's gonna be on, probably in December or probably in January, who knows, probably this end of the month, we will have to see. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as the game developer says, see you in the battlefield. Bye bye.